Peace, grace, and power, ladies and gentlemen. Peace, grace, and power. Y'all already know what time it is, y'all. It's your boy AS3, the host with the most, y'all. I'm back with another episode of Talk About It TV. And you already know I only speak when I got something to talk about, you dig? First of all, hopefully y'all are taking care of yourself. Everybody's doing well and doing what they're supposed to do. I just got a couple of things on my mind I wanted to talk to y'all about. And I got a few clips that I want to show y'all. You know, since the topic is what are we witnessing, speaks for itself, and I'm gonna show you exactly what we're witnessing in these clips that I'm about to show y'all in a minute. But I wanted to tap in with y'all to make sure that everybody's doing good. I hope y'all doing well. Hope your families are doing well. Hope everybody's doing the best that they can due to the circumstances that we all dealing with. Um, Whether you got money or not, I'm sure you're being affected by the war and all of the things that's been going on. Um, so as a result of other people's decision making, we the people are affected in some way, shape, or form, no matter what you got going on. But the best thing to do in these type of times is to just keep a cool head. You can only control what you can control and do what you got to do to take care of you and your family. Um, I know we're going through a lot in these times, and I'm seeing a lot myself on all different spectrum, um, and it's sad to see, but there's a deeper message beyond all of this. And if you're a truthful, firm believer in God, then you already know that there's spiritual warfare going on that's deeper than we can truly understand. And evil is rapid all over the place, and people are doing the most for attention, um, doing what they feel like they want to do so much to where other people are becoming victims, and you know based off of decisions others make. We got a lot of casualties of just mess. That's what I call it. And I hate to be the era of bad news, and I don't want to always come on here and got bad news, because there's also some good things that's going on in the world. People are creating new projects and getting things done and feeding families and taking care of people who don't got things. And so just as much as there's the bad things, we have the good things, and we got to balance it all out. So just wanted to tap in with y'all. It's been a minute. Um, we right, tipping at the end of April, going into May, tourist season. You know, can't wait for my birthday so I can recalibrate. So I'm looking forward to that. Aside from that, y'all, do the best that you can with what you got. I mean, if you can, try not to even entertain yourself that much with certain things on the news and what's going on. Me specifically, I tap into things here and there because I have a TV show that you're watching right now, and it's my baby. I'm taking care of it, and not only am I doing that, I'm just trying to push the content further for people who may or may not know about it. So make sure y'all hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're on the YouTube platform watching this, just to help me get in the algorithm and get things flowing. So, and once you subscribe, you'll be able to be notified on when I drop a video. Um, so, but as we proceed, I really want to build this platform, so I'm doing what I can when I can. But I'm not just hopping on here just to say any and everything like a lot of other people who do got platforms. And I know there's a lot of people who are the upper echelons who think like everybody got something to say and everybody's got a platform now. I mean, to each his own. It is what it is. Everybody is trying to make a way out of no way sometimes. And in terms of me, I'm an artist and I do what I do, but I have this platform and I have a fitness platform, and I also got my music platform. Keep it separate, and I just do what I do. But this is something that I've been doing for 20 plus years, so it's nothing new to me. So, but in terms of the podcast space, it's been a few years now, I would say, until, in terms of me having Talk About It TV. But I'm proud of where I'm at right now and where I'm going with it. And just continuing to build. And like I said, I only speak when I have something to say, whether that's negative or positive. Uh, I be trying to stay away from some of the negative stuff, but the stuff that I be seeing, it's just sometimes it just needs to be talked about, and not in a bad way, but just for us to to really see what's going on, and I don't know, just have these discussions with each other to find out, like, why is everybody crashing out and going through what they're going through. So if this video can help somebody out, you never know who you touch, when somebody see your stuff on certain platforms. So I do the best that I can to come to y'all with some real raw talent in terms of topics, and really just coming from the heart when I speak to y'all, like as if I'm in the room with y'all talking to you, and just where my mind is at right now in 2026 with all of the stuff that's going on. Because some people are so caught up in things that they're taking their own life and yelling and screaming on the internet and talking about how hard things are. And to each his own, man. Everybody got it hard. Whether you got something, whether you got nothing. It is what it is, and it affects everything across the board. But that's still not a thing to do, to just break down, especially on the internet, and be crying and yelling and screaming and letting the whole world know that you're frustrated. Like, we get it. Everybody's frustrated. And some people just go about it a different way. So I encourage y'all to sometimes keep some of that stuff off the internet. You don't have to spill out all your guts on the internet all the time for everybody to listen and hear what you got going on. So take heed to that for sure. And that's how you're gonna be better with it, and learn how to structure yourself in a way so you can be a winner, and not let the best not let things get to you as much, because we in some hard times now where crashing out is like the new normal. And don't fall victim to it if you can try to help yourself, or listen to some people who got some positive mindsets and trying to go further with life and still want to do more. Even amongst the chaos that's going on right now, you still want to be better. You still want to do better for yourself and for your family. People are taking care of people taking care of kids, and got all these different things going on. Sometimes life be life, and I get it. But let's not lose sight of the finer things in life, the simple things, the people that do love us, care about us, the people that are present and around. Let's continue to show them some love, give God some grace, you know what I mean, as well. For people who don't believe, that is what it is. You do, to each his own, do your thing. But whatever's helping you push forward, what's helping you smile, what's helping you be the best version of yourself during these trying times, it's very important, because the more wicked things get, the more spiritual you must become and be more strong and hold on to the best way that you can, and know that this shit is bigger than all of us. You know what I mean? And try to help out the ones who are crashing out and doing the most, doing damage to not only themselves but to other people too, because what we do not only affects us, but it affects others, whether we know it or not. Energy is everywhere, and we are frequency. So continue to do the best you can, like I said, and don't beat yourself up too much, because everybody's going through their own version of shit, trust me. And as long as you can listen to podcasts like mine, other people who are trying to encourage you to stay strong, encourage you to stay working, stay going through whatever you got to go through, but it's part of your journey. Continue to push through, continue to dream big. And, we all want the better things in life. We all want to be successful in our own way, but we got to continue to grind, continue to work. Some people don't, some people get it however they get it, whether that's a good way or bad way. Like I said, let's even the playing field around, and continue to be more resilient when it comes to things like this, because these times ain't gonna get no better. It's only gonna get worse, and you need to be mentally, physically strong. So make sure you're working out, taking your vitamins, and really trying to just focus on your goals and make things happen. So besides my 10-minute rhetoric that I just did for y'all, I just wanted to tap in with y'all and really let you know where I'm at mentally. Also, be looking out for the album. New album coming soon too, y'all. So hope y'all enjoy that. But we're gonna get into these clips and get into some of this content. And I'm just gonna react to some of these ones that I found for y'all. Some of you may have seen them, some of you might not. But let's tap in, because it's all things that we need to tap into.
Just days after Borders Are, Tom Homan announced the end of Operation Metro Surge. We are getting the latest look at the wind down.
Plus, leaders at every level are starting to measure the impacts and success of immigration crackdowns. Our So-Young Kim joins us in the newsroom tonight. And So-Young, we're learning more than, 1,000 federal immigration agents have now left Minnesota.
Randy Gilsey, that's right. And the Associated Press is reporting hundreds more will be departing in the days ahead.
Arrest illegal aliens with a focus on criminals. Over 4,000 arrests, done. De-escalation, done. Collaboration and cooperation with the prisons and the counties, done. When we leave Minnesota, it's a much safer city.
You see how he's saying that? Done. Minnesota feeling themselves, but as they should, especially from the shit that they got going on, and the whole thing with the ICE situation. So at least that they're doing the best that they can, and they're standing up for their city, and that's what every city need to be doing.
That was Borders Are Tom Homan on Fox News speaking about why he views Operation Metro Surge as a success. The immigration crackdown in Minnesota was the largest deployment of federal immigration agents in the department's history. At the height of the operation, roughly 3,000 federal officers flooded the state. Now, over 2.5 months in, a significant drawdown is in the works. Governor Tim Walz, reacting to the news of a complete drawdown Thursday, also says he views this moment as a victory for Minnesotans.
Minnesotans never wavered. And for that, I will be forever grateful. I think it's probably safe to say the rest of the country will be forever grateful, because they showed what it means to stand up for what's right.
Since Homan's announcement, both Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey had said they'll be asking the federal government to pay for the damage and impacts they're leaving behind. And coming up at 9, Homan responding to that as well. For now, live in the newsroom, So-Young Kim, Fox 9.
All right, So-Young, thank you.
Yeah, emotions certainly running high here.
Before we get into the next story, y'all, man, I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Minnesota, to be able to get them people out of there like they wanted, and figure out some things for themselves after they clean up the mess that was made, of course, as we proceed.
Court today, I was right next to both families as we were walking outside of the courtroom here earlier this afternoon. That's loved ones for the defendant as well as the victim. Now, both sides kind of started just saying things to each other, and that led to a very brief scuffle where we saw dozens of sheriff deputies having to jump in here in the courthouse to separate the two families. Two people briefly detained there before it appears that they were both let go. But all of that happening right after a judge ruled that Montoya Perry will remain behind bars until trial.
Prosecutors revealed an extensive criminal history for the 33-year-old woman accused of murdering an Uber Eats driver in Chicago this week. Montoya Perry has 8 previous felony convictions and was already out on pretrial release for another crime she had just committed 2 weeks ago before allegedly carrying out a deadly carjacking early Monday morning.
I'm pretty numb still. I mean, I can be angry.
And you know what, y'all? Shout out to the city of Chicago. Y'all do, no matter what, y'all stay in the headlines for the bullshit. At least y'all staying true to y'all code of fucking messery, because that's all y'all, like, not to say that that's all the city got to offer, but goddamn, for people who've never been there or want to go there to visit, y'all making it very hard for people to want to even be there and have an experience, let alone hearing about all of the madness that goes on out there. And I've never been there before, so please don't take this the wrong way. Me trying to spill whatever about Chicago as a whole, because I'm sure it's a pretty beautiful city, but y'all got a bad rep, and that's just facts. Just like New York, we got a bad rep too. I get it, and but damn, man, killing this person like that. Let's continue.
I can be hurt, but that's not going to bring my son back. I'm going to let justice take its place.
Prosecutors say 28-year-old Daniel Figueroa was dropping off food at Loretto Hospital around 2 in the morning when suddenly Perry and 2 other suspects allegedly got into his blue Dodge Caravan. That's when prosecutors say Figueroa ran to the van and grabbed the handle of a door, but was momentarily dragged as Perry sped off, eventually running over his body right outside the hospital.
He runs out to catch the car because, of course, it's his car. He needs his car. That's how he makes his money or whatever. And try to grab the handle. The weird part is how he even get caught up, unless his hand must got caught up in the handle while she was pulling off. That's a hell of a way to die, off of a black girl that just didn't give a fuck. And in that specific moment, that's what she decided to do. And whether she black, white, whatever, don't even matter, but she just happens to be black. The shit that people will do just spur of the moment, like whatever she wanted the car for whatever reason. She saw an opportunity and she took it just because it was running and there was nobody in it. But running him over, now, whether we know if she did it on purpose or not, that's besides the point. But just the fact that happened, I'm sure she didn't stop after that. I'm pretty sure she kept going, and they caught her later. But like the type of shit that happens so suddenly and so quick to people sometimes, it's spooky, man. That shit's wild.
Prosecutors say a doctor at that hospital was supposed to receive the food, but became suspicious after not getting any updates. They say he then made his way outside, where Figueroa was found laying in a pool of blood and died shortly after. Figueroa's loved ones showing up to court today, emotional and hoping justice would be served.
It was important to be here just because Daniel didn't deserve this. Even though they have one person in custody, we still need justice to be served.
I'm happy in my heart that she's being detained and that the case is moving forward. There's no doubt in our minds that she did it.
Yo, that's like a horror movie for a mother. Son just trying to do what he do and get killed by a girl who just decided to steal the car. That's horrific, man. Prayers up.
And she did it with intent to hurt and left my son there to die.
Funeral services are now being planned for this weekend, while a GoFundMe has already raised more than $12,000 to help Figueroa's girlfriend and her young son, Dario. The family now just hanging on to the memories of Daniel's smile that they say always lit up every room.
I just pray with the help of the justice system and everyone involved that Daniel gets justice. My son deserves to live with his smile and continue to smile upon us all.
Now, Perry is due back in court on March 18th, and it's not clear at this time if CPD is arresting anyone else involved in this case. Live from 26 in Cal, Eric Kawash, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Of the Bronx and
before we go to the next story, that's if you got no compassion for a story like that, or you just don't feel nothing when you hear that, then you ain't shit. You ain't shit, and you got no real soul. Like, there are some people out there that are so heartless to where things like that wouldn't even faze them. And it's just and nothing surprises me anymore in 2026 with the things that I see and hear, because nobody's thinking about anything that they do anymore. Nobody's using no parts of their brain to resolve any situations that they put themselves in. Granted, man, we're gonna get into some shit, and you're gonna learn from your lessons. But now we're in the age where everything's being recorded all the time. Like even the shit that we used to get, that we used to get away with back in the day. Today, I can't do that shit. So I mean, thankfully, a lot of me and my people back in the day, we used to do whatever we used to do. Things didn't get caught up in that way because there was no cameras all over the place. But now y'all not even, either y'all not giving a fuck or y'all just straight just want to just crash out for whatever reason and throw your life away for the dumbest shit. But it's wild the times that we're in. Like, next story.
Sentencing day for the daycare operators responsible for the fatally exposing a toddler to fentanyl in 2023. It was a gut-wrenching day in court as the parents of the boy addressed the
Fentanyl still being a problem. I've had a couple of people that I knew who died from this. So this is a real deep, serious issue that still hasn't been taken care of, obviously. Or we wouldn't be seeing this story. And for the kid to have to go through that, like, come on, like nobody's paying attention to their kids. Like this is just sad, man.
couple responsible for the tragedy. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in the Melrose section of the Bronx with more on this story. Darla.
Well, David, the parents of Nicholas Dominici had a chance to address the two people convicted in their son's murder today. And those two people had a chance to apologize to the family today. But when you talk about how gut-wrenching and difficult this day was today, one thing can sum all of this up. The mother told the court, Zola Dominici says she cannot wait until the day that she dies, until she can see her son again. And because he's not coming back, these two people should never get out of jail.
Those 25 years to life plus those 45 years on federal court is enough time for who is expecting come out. They never gonna come out.
The parents of Nicholas Dominici leaving the Bronx criminal courthouse Wednesday afternoon, clinging to a large portrait of their son.
We fight. We pray every day to wake up and have the power to be standing on that courthouse. It's not easy.
This uneasy final chapter in their 2.5-year nightmare in the fentanyl death of their 22-month-old son, ending with the sentencing hearing for former daycare owner Gray Mendez and her husband, Felix Herrera Garcia, convicted of second-degree murder in the toddler's death.
No debe salir nunca de la cárcel.
You should never get out of jail, Zoila Dominici telling the court. Menendez and Garcia sitting with their hands cuffed behind their backs as the grieving parents described the day Nicholas died in September 2023. She says, I see my heart bleeding from his mouth. The doctors did everything they could to bring him back to life, but it was too late. He had been dead for a while.
On 2023, we celebrated my birthday. 2 days later, this happened.
The couple sentenced 25 years to life in Dominici's death to run concurrently with a 45-year sentence on federal drug charges in this case.
I just want
Get the fuck out of here. Stupid ass. You and that nigga. Nobody want to hear that shit after y'all did that.
to apologize to the family of the children that I was caring for. They said that I never apologized, but I have apologized.
He don't even give a
I
fuck.
would like to say I'm sorry to the family.
It is a measure of justice because now they are fully accountable. Drug charges in the federal system, murder charges, and assault charges in the Bronx.
And after everything was over, the proceeding was over, the sentencing hearing, which lasted about an hour, the parents, the entire family, in fact, said they were headed to the gravesite to celebrate The sentencing where Dominici, their 42-month-old son, is buried. Reporting live in the Melrose section of the Bronx, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
A Clear Lake man is now facing multiple felony.
Hold on. Let me get a little 2 second. Tragedy, that's all I can say. Let's keep it pushing.
Felony charges after investigators say he locked his disabled wife inside of a bedroom of their $1 million Clear Lake home for years. Police say the woman.
What? Y'all hear this shit? Look at the type of fucking people we dealing with. And if y'all think that they're saying demonic, I don't give a fuck if the devil telling them to do it or not. It's still off. Period.
Was recently able to call for some help. Fox 26 reporter Leslie Delaspore is live outside that home with the latest on this disturbing case. Leslie.
Yeah, that's right, Caroline. So neighbors I spoke to today tell me that they're shocked. They say that this home behind me here has always looked as it does right now with the blinds closed. So they had absolutely no idea of what was going on inside. A horror story was happening inside this $1 million home on Crown Ridge Court in Clear Lake, right next to the Bay Oaks Country Club golf course. Houston police say officers responded to the home around 7 a.m. March 6th after 46-year-old Ruby Rivera Johnson called for help. Investigators say the woman told police her husband, 46-year-old James Earl Johnson, had been locking her inside a bedroom against her will for years. She also told police she was not properly fed, sometimes given just 1 egg a day and dinner. Court records say the woman, who has disabilities, was confined to a bedroom for 5 years without phone access, proper nutrition, or medical care. Documents say she was finally able to call 911 after Johnson left a phone on the nightstand, but investigators say he later carried her back to bed after hanging up the call. HPD says officers were previously called to the home in November of 2025, but investigators say the wife told them the husband allegedly told her and the children to remain quiet when police arrived. Neighbors say nothing seemed out of the ordinary, describing Johnson as active in the neighborhood, even attending events like National Night Out. One trauma therapist says people with disabilities are at a greater risk for abuse, and victims in cases like this can face a very long road to healing.
You know, stories like this make me feel so compassionate and heartened for the survivor in this case, the victim in this case, who's had to live with a form of abuse we call coercive control. But the wounds that are created by this form of abuse, psychological, emotional, physical, can be long-lasting and quite devastating. The victim finally sought some help, which led to some physical violence. But make no mistake, if somebody's being held against their will for 5+ years, this abuse was long-standing. But the road to recovery can be long and hard, but help is available through counseling, through support. There is a lot of help out there. Fortunately, there is a lot of help available in our communities. There are resources, counselors, domestic violence organizations, hotlines. So if you see something that doesn't look altogether normal, might be suspicious, let them know, listen, and say, you know what, here's some resources.
Investigators say the case remains under investigation. Now, Johnson's bail was set at $100,000, but court documents do show that at this time he has bonded out. Reporting live from Clear Lake, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
Singer David.
Before we get into the next topic, y'all, keeping her locked up like that in that, and this is how many. This is what I just want to touch on this little part real quick. How many people don't pay attention to their own neighbors? You could be living next to somebody for fucking 5-10 years. Don't know who you next to. People don't even knock on neighbors' doors no more like they used to back in the day to meet them, bring them gifts, just to see what type of energy they got going on, kind of get a feel for the neighborhood people, things like that. People are so stuck on themselves, not caring about nothing or nobody unless they're involved or getting some kind of money from it. People don't really help people no more. or even give a fuck about what's going on next door. Like, as long as it's not them, it's just like tunnel vision. It's just disgusting with the attitudes and the things that we gotta deal with. But like I say, nobody's perfect. But people are gonna do the most and do the most in the worst way. Like, no matter what the level is. Let's get into this next topic with this singer David, this stupid motherfucker here. This story right here just makes me cringe.
Known for, among other things, his viral hit Romantic Homicide, appeared in court today. He's looking at murder charges. Prosecutors allege a teenage girl's dismembered body was found in the trunk of his Tesla.
Dismembered body. Do y'all understand what the fuck that means? That means that she wasn't even recognizable. Like, remember when Emmett Till got his face dismantled? Pretty much, she probably looked 10 times worse than he did, minus the trauma in terms of maybe the punishment, however she was killed. But that ain't even, it must have smelled so bad to the point where, like, I can't even, like, no horror movie could even fuck with that script.
Last year, David pleaded not guilty. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon has more from the courthouse in downtown LA.
On behalf of your client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including armed forces and veterans' rights, enter a plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and priors?
Yes.
And who pleaded not guilty? Nigga, that's your car, and she was at your house. If he didn't do it, and I'm not saying that, I don't know. This is just speculation. Allegedly, they think that he did it, but if she was with him and they got into something and he left and he just left her there and there were other people at his house, because niggas like him probably got motherfuckers all up and down your crib. You got a bunch of cars, things like that. So it could have been a situation where he left and somebody else decided to mess with her, whatever, and then they could be, part of the bullshit, and then he just got the short end of the stick because it's his vehicle. But there's a possibility that he might not even know nothing about this, but we'll see as it goes. But if he's got something to do with this is just disgusting and nasty.
Through his attorney, 21-year-old singer David pleading not guilty to murder in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This comes 7 months after a gruesome discovery of the teen's remains.
And she was 14, young. Like, what do y'all get? I don't understand what motherfuckers getting at these young girls. Like, y'all love these young, like, innocent. What's so intriguing about fucking with a young girl like that? These motherfuckers are sick, man.
Her body found dismembered and decomposed inside a Tesla at a Hollywood tow yard last September. The car registered to the entertainer's name.
No parent or any human being should have to endure what you've gone through.
Police and prosecutors describing this case as a parent's worst nightmare and revealing more about the two's alleged relationship leading up to the teen's death.
Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult.
Prosecutors say she was last known to be alive on April 23, 2025, when she went to David's home in the Hollywood Hills at his invitation and was never seen again until her body was discovered about 4 months later.
Substantial amount of time that passed between her death and the discovery meant that crucial evidence had degraded or disappeared.
As to why it's taken more than half a year to bring forth charges.
In a situation where you don't have an eyewitness account, or we can't point to a video that shows the killer killing someone, you have to go through the very rigorous and thorough investigation to look at all the digital and forensic evidence.
David's legal team issued a statement last week after his arrest saying the actual evidence in this case will show David Burke did not murder Celeste and he was not the cause of her death. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rachel Aragon.
Well, from the beginning, this has been an unusual and high-profile case, especially given the amount of time it took to make an arrest and bring that murder charge. Fox 11's Laura Diaz spoke with a legal expert tonight. She joins us live from downtown LA with more on all this. Laura?
You know, Phil, at 8 o'clock, we talked about the evidence. Now at 9, we're talking about what some regard as the unusual way the charges were filed today. The prosecutor alleged that Celeste Rivas was not only a victim, she was a witness to her own sexual abuse.
If he is in fact going to be charged, if not with the crime itself, at least with the conduct of having engaged in sexual lewd conduct with a minor, in this case a 14-year-old, you could make an argument once again that she wasn't just the victim, she was the victim, and maybe along with that the witness, maybe the primary witness.
Our expert Stanley Goldman is a professor of evidence at Loyola Law School. We asked for his analysis just hours after singer David was charged with the first-degree murder and other counts in connection with the brutal killing of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez in a Los Angeles courtroom today. Now, prosecutors said that the teenager's body was found dismembered in the musician's towed Tesla. The DA said that the singer had a long-term sexual relationship with the underage girl and killed her to protect his career, dismembering her and leaving her body in his car. The singer has pleaded not guilty to all of those charges. He will remain in custody on no bail. The DA said that he was bringing the most serious charges he could, first-degree murder with special circumstances. They are lying in wait, committing the crime for financial gain, murdering a witness in an investigation, and they carry the death penalty. And it's important to note that in the state of California, sex with a child under 14 is child molestation, and that would affect this case, Phil. So all of these very important things to focus on as we look at this case, which has languished for months, but today had a very dramatic conclusion in court. Phil, back to you.
So I'm not quite clear on what the point Stan was making, Stan Goldman, about being the victim.
Oh, I don't hear about this anymore. To be honest with you. Let me get to the end of it.
All right. Well, thank you for that analysis. We're obviously going to see how this all plays out going forward.
Yeah, that's about it. Before we get to this clip here, that story is just unreal, and I just feel bad for that girl and her parents. And for him, any nigga who spell their name David that way, D4BD, already got issues, but that's a whole nother topic. Like, some of these motherfuckers be giving themselves away without even knowing it, and you could tell some of them it's just not all, like, whatever. And you got thousands of people coming to your show to see a nutso. More power to you, boss. This next clip right here is the last clip, and I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there before I play this. I mean no disrespect to any woman on this planet. I love all women, especially fit women, Black, Asian, whatever you are, nothing but love. But y'all need to really do something when it comes to the makeup and figure out another way to be beautiful, I guess. And I'm not saying don't wear it no more, but the less the better, because of what I've just been hearing and reading about is killing y'all. Like, it's killing y'all very slowly, and it's doing so much damage to you. But we live in a world where some people need it, but try to be as natural as you can. But watch this shit real quick. I'm gonna go fast. You know, face. Go to this part. How did they get from that to that? I mean, everybody's getting fooled in the building.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers? Fingers. Fingers.
I think we've seen enough. God damn. If you ain't being fooled, then what in the fuck? First of all, I just want to say thank y'all for tapping in with me, man. That's been a little bit over 40 minutes of your time. Hopefully you either watched the whole thing or you came back to it at some point to see the clips and see, you know, what I had up there and what I had in store for y'all for this episode. So I want to say thank you for tapping in with your boy. You know what I mean? We live in a different type of time right now, and as you can see, people are doing the most. No matter what, no matter how we feel about it, nothing's going to change. People are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And this is supposed to be America, right? Land of the free, home of the brave, and a bunch of messy bullshit. And this is what we're dealing with. So make the best of it with wherever you are on the planet and stay out the way as much as possible. Continue to stay fit. Eat your vegetables. Read your book. Don't watch too much TV. Be the best version of yourself every single day until you depart from this avatar. And that's what I gotta say. And continue to give God all of the praise because He's worthy and we're working as human beings on this planet. We just gotta get our shit together. But as long as someone's trying to teach someone something, because everybody got something to say, but nobody got no damn solutions. None whatsoever. But everybody got a platform with a lot of people that's listening to them all the time. But nobody really saying nothing. It's just a lot of the same fucking rhetoric and people thinking that they know more than they actually know and feeding people a bunch of garbage. That's what we're dealing with. Influencers who don't influence a goddamn thing. Only thing that they're influencing is for people to jump off a bridge. Okay? We're running rapid and we're on low gas, literally. So I said my piece. I love y'all. I care about y'all. Hope you feel at least somewhat, entertained by this episode. Or at least you got something out of it, got some knowledge off of the things that I said, and you can put it to use in some way, shape, or form, because I only plan on giving you some good stuff. And whenever I got something to say, I will be back live. And thank y'all for tuning in to Talk About It TV, baby. It's the host with the most. About to get up out of here and go catch a flick for the rest of the night and chill out. Y'all already know what it is, man. Stay tapped in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. It's your boy AS3. Talk About It TV. Peace.